Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today, we're taking a look at St. Meghan Markle. That's right, my favorite Reddit group. They like to break down all the news going on with Harold and fraud. They like to take a look at the memes, and it just usually opens up lively debates with us. So I thought, you know what? Let's take a look and see what's going on over there. And you guys, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate each of you. One thing really quick before we get started, I want to encourage you to hit that join button. You guys, thank you to everybody who's already clicked it and joined. You have access to the specialized emojis that Jay has made us. You guys, I'm dying. In case you haven't noticed, if you've already joined or if you're thinking about joining, Jay just added, look at the bottom here. I know these are tiny. The reason is because they're emojis, so it's hard for me to blow them up to show them to you, but just trust me. It is a divorce horse because Jay came up with that name recently during one of our recordings. And so he put a horse head with her stupid green hat on it. So that is my new personal favorite. I love them all. That's my new personal favorite. Of course, we have birthday horse. He added flock off to the emojis. So you can definitely use that when it applies. Look at me. So definitely check those out. Consider hitting that join button. Any money raised there goes directly back into supporting the channel. And I can't thank you guys enough. Now let's take a look at St. Meghan Markle. Okay, right out of the gate, I'm so excited to talk about this. I was dying to talk about this last week. In case you missed it, this was posted by, Tamala Hill? And it says, Spare is the most dumped holiday book of 2023. Something tells me it's not the only thing that will be dumped. And they shared this picture as well. Harry's getting chucked. Okay, let's talk about this because I've been dying to talk about this with you guys. So this is by the Daily Mail, and it says Prince Harry's memoir Spare is the most dumped book of the summer, with up to 100 copies left behind by holidaymakers at resorts in Spain, Greece, and Turkey. Oh, you guys, I found this so funny. I know he still made money on the front end, but I didn't even think about how many people are dumping this book now. I mean, they just read it. It was just, I went over it. It's complete nonsense. It's horrible to read through. It was tough. So people are just dumping it and leaving it at their holidays. So this poor guy has this huge stack of Spare left behind that he has to go through. I like the look on his face. So Vegetable Depth 5806 replies to this and says, as a former bookseller, I agree. The figures for credit for returns will knock a hole in Penguin's claims for sales. They were ridiculous. Calculating bestsellers has always been a murky business. I thought this was so interesting. I've heard the same figures you have as to how well Harry's book did, but I just never believe anything that comes from these two, of course. Nothing is ever real. They can never tell the truth about anything. So I just assume it was the same on these sales. And I didn't even think about how returns would affect it. Now, I do think we're talking two different issues here. Leaving behind a book from a holiday is not the same as a return. Return, of course, is, we know it's different. But I just find it all so funny and fun just to think that old Harold was patting himself on the back for this drivel. And I've been through the reviews of it. They're not good. I've reviewed it myself. It's not good. And to find out all these people are just dumping it and leaving it behind. And I've seen like TikToks and stuff where people make other things out of this book, which I found very fun. And then I didn't even think about how returns would affect the numbers as well and how, of course, those won't be reported on. And then Taking a Break One points out, and that book was given away for free on ebook stores. It was also always on sale. And those free ebooks and audiobooks were heavily discounted. Like I pay $1 to read or listen were also counted as sales. And then one incident points out what's even worse is that no one finds it interesting enough to grab the copies left behind to read it themselves. No one wants it even for free. Okay, changing gears. Sakura posts idea for Harry's next podcast. Hey H, how about instead of asking despots about their childhood, you can compare siblings who have been through the exact same experience and find out why one becomes so much more successful and grounded than the other one. What character traits did the non-failed siblings have that was lacking in the other? I love this post. That's so well said and exactly what I say too. Every time he pulls that woe is me crap that William has been through the exact same things and look at the difference in how they turned out. Which led me to this comment by Fantastic Corner 2132 that says, I too have an idea for Netflix to claw back some of the millions they've chucked down the pan on the grifters. How about a show where Harry and Meghan, having finally admitted that they've split, each record an episode each week where they dish the dirt on each other? They must have loads of material, with chosen guests fighting their corner. Marcus for her, Nacho for him, etc. Then viewers could vote on premium lines each week who won that week's round. They could call it Harry and Meghan Battle Royale. The two of the most unpleasant characters on the planet going head to head. They'd make a fortune. Minimum effort required from the Harkles too. They're just doing what comes naturally. Netflix would make a fortune. I love this idea. While I will never root for either of them, I would watch the hell out of that and recap it for you guys. Okay, this was posted by Feisty Energy, and it says Malibu move. And I wanted to talk about this because I do see this continuously brought up, and I didn't think it warranted a video because I don't believe anything I believe it's out of their camp, and I don't believe anything out of their camp. But I keep seeing this come up that says Meghan is mulling a move to Malibu, closer to LA and among more Hollywood power brokers. Do her plans include Harry? But this is the first time I've seen it where they're talking about separately. But I keep seeing that those two are thinking about selling their home and moving to Malibu. Now, I've also had stories sent to me from you guys, thank you for sending me those, that say that they've already sold their home. I'm not sure on that. I haven't seen concrete evidence either way on that. But I do keep seeing this. They're going to move to Malibu. And I think, what? Because they keep spinning it. She wants to return to her roots, but she's not from Malibu. But the original poster points out, you know what? Before Princess Diana's death, it was reported she too had been planning a move to Malibu. When I heard that, it clicked for me. I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. That sounds right. And of course, these two have to attach their names to anything that would be at all similar to anything Princess Diana. I wanted to point out this comment by, is it Karate Ganso? I hope I'm saying that right. That says she will not be any happier in Malibu because her problem isn't geographical. Ding, ding, ding. That's exactly where my brain was going to. It doesn't matter where you pluck these two. Neither of them will be happy. They'll find ways to be miserable, and it has nothing to do with geography. All right, let's take a look at this one. Won't Yield posted this. All right, Rachel at Hotmail, unsussexful. Ooh, I finally did it right. Global Press Secretary and Sugar Bot Coordinator. You guys, it says Meghan Markle. I don't read anything. It's just noise. And then Meghan Markle every day. Here we go. And you guys, I do want to give a shout out because I know this was originally posted by Lean Meme Machine. They're the ones who made this. I talk about them all the time. They're on Twitter. Definitely check them out. They make lots of fun stuff like this. But yeah, it's so fun. I love this image so much. I actually think I pulled it for a Twitter video I have coming out soon too. So you might see this twice, but I love it. It's great. It led to a conversation about Harry and Meghan definitely being, lurkers reading the comments and stuff. And then Rescheduled One says that maybe we should add a coloring book section just for Harry. Okay, this one was shared by Muffpiece, and it says, stop looking at us. H&M are downsizing, you guys. They shared this picture here. I love real estate pictures. Look at this. It was shared by Please Hate These Things. And it says, who lives here? Wrong answers only, you can imagine. You guys, look at this house. This is hilarious. Look... I just take it all in. Look at the very cute doggies on the left side of the photo because they come up in the comments as well. But just take a look at this and let's take a look at the comments under this. The original poster says, if you're not familiar with the app Please Hate These Things on Instagram, it regularly features bizarre home improvements gone wrong. It's hilarious. I'm going to have to check this out. This photo is this odd-looking exterior captioned, who lives here? Wrong answers only. Someone responded, Harry and Meghan. I'm pleased to report there are many likes and positive remarks to that comment. Indeed, they are a joke. Which Liz Lemonade, Mopey Dick, posted the Tower of Despair. Okay, remember those cute doggies I told you to pay attention to? Forgotten Goldfishes wrote, if it was Harry and Meghan's place, One dog would be in cast, the other would be discarded, lest we not forget. I've talked about this at length too. They're not only disgusting to people, they're also disgusting to animals as well. Okay, so this was posted by Walmart Wallace. Love that username. And it says, please enjoy this piping hot tea for entertainment purposes only, of course. All right, I'm going to tell you this gets political and I don't. So I'll read this aloud, posted by somebody else, but I do not get political. I don't care which side of the aisle you fall on. Nothing else. Harold and Fraud have united us in disliking these two. So we're not going to get political in the comments either, but let's read this and see what they say. Hi, I'm a Fed in DC. My personal theory based on what I know about how DC works is that I think Meghan thought the White House worked like the British royal family. And that if she knows the right person or if she flexes the title, she can be connected directly to Joe or Jill instead of being routed through all the different assistants first. I think either A, she called too many times. When she finally got to talk to someone, she pulled the "don't you know who I am? How dare you" card. That sounds right. Or B, they granted her one courtesy meeting/phone call that turned into whole, quote, if you give a mouse a cookie a situation. Either way, the White House quickly nipped it in the bud with a hard line in the sand. I get the feeling that asked to travel on Air Force One after the funeral was when the White House dropped all the niceties in dealing with her and started saying F no, excuse my French. However, the scuttlebutt I've heard around here is that Meghan really and horrifically overplayed her hand on two separate occasions. First with the paid parental leave lobbying, and second with lobbying Newsom to be Feinstein's replacement. Unpaid parental leave, Meghan's calling the senators on their private/unregistered personal lines is a huge boundary crossing no-no. Biden would have heard about this as the party chief. And by lobbying Newsom so hard to get Feinstein's replacement, she ticked off all the California Democrats because she was essentially trying to leapfrog the entire system. California Democrats make up a huge part of the current Democratic coalition of which Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris are part of. So they absolutely heard about it. I did hear at one point that Kamala really couldn't stand Meghan and has her blocked or won't even return her call. So something definitely went down. And that's how that post ends. I found that completely interesting, if for no other reason but to say, yeah, that all tracks. Again, what have we, just every story of Meghan's, it's come out that it's been a lie or an exaggeration or things are twisted to fit her narrative. So why wouldn't she try to use her influence, try to twist things to try to get her foot in the door, to try to, over presume things? So I'm choosing to believe it. I've heard small, rumblings kind of that fit along with this. So I'm choosing to believe it. And I find it hilarious. And again, good luck with that political move that we keep hearing so much about. You guys, I'm ending it here. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. It really means the world to me. If you want to further support the show, there's several ways you can do it. Click that join button. You can check out the merch. Of course, we got Drunk Goose Club, honk honk. I love that club so much. You guys are the greatest. Also, I do have Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where you can check out bonus episodes, further deep dives, things like that. So check that out. That's also where you can become an executive producer. And now I'm going to thank my executive producers. So here we go. A huge thank you to Linda. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you to Paige. Huge thank you to Teresa. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Kay. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Aaron and Frank. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Ann M. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Ann H. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Glynis. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Patty. Thank you, Adair Becker. Thank you to Erica. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Barb G. Thank you to Diana. Thank you, Allison B. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Lori. Thank you to Pauline. Thank you to KT. Thank you, Jolene. Thank you, Stromboli. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Loie. Thank you, Lucy H. Thank you to Georgia. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Robin's Landing. Thank you to Helen. Thank you to Mara. Thank you, Ashley C. Thank you to Molly. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sand Squid. Thank you to Rach. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, Nina. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, Domby. Thank you, Android P. Thank you to Sheena. Thank you, Aaron M. Thank you, Faye. Thank you, Judith. Thank you, Spectrum Mom. Thank you, Vanessa B. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Mimi Heathcote. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Anita. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you to Bree. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you to Elvis Rose here on YouTube. Thank you to Lori. Thank you, Tim B. Thank you, Jean. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you, Kathy with a C. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you to Patricia. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Ridley. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Donna D. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Chewy. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, 509 Cougs. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, BJ. Thank you, Big Bad John. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Duck Barf. Your name is always funny to me. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Vicky loves her corgi. Thank you, Charisse. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Genesee. Thank you, Essie. Thank you, Lady Grandmother. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, Funky Buddha. And thank you, Trish. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Kay Coffee.